Okay, that's just how I'm gonna start every episode because I press record on this Zoom recording and it announces recording after it's already started recording. So then I look weird. But if I try to, I would look weird like sitting there or whatever. But if I try to say, Welcome to the Better Podcast while it's saying that it's recording, it creates this weird like interruption to the sound, which you will have heard on some past episodes. So I'm just gonna have a pause, wait till the lady says what she needs to say, and then speak. But that's why I'm going to be posed like that. Okay. Welcome back to the Bitter to Better podcast. This is challenge number 4 of the Empowered Dating Challenge. I challenge you to vet him out. I will explain. But before I explain, just know that on my website, coachtracie.life, you are able to register for the Date Better as a Mom free webinar. That is going to be an ongoing webinar that I give. So if you've already attended the webinar, you don't necessarily, need or want to attend it again. But what I'm letting people know is that it will be this ongoing webinar that you're able to register for in advance. So I have a schedule. I think I'm doing like two or three, I'm showing two or three at a time. But my intention is to offer this webinar on maybe like a monthly basis or so. And the idea is that you can go to this webinar to get a kind of starter on dating better as a mom and, seeing if you'd like to then move on and continue to join me in the Date Better program, which I'm currently running with a group of women. And this cohort ends the end of February, but I will relaunch the program in the next couple of months. And so I highly recommend getting in on the webinar so that you can get a beginning, intro into the work that we do, be able to talk to me, ask questions about dating, about the program, things like that. So just know that in the show notes, you will have the link to my website to register for the webinar, check the schedule, see what works for you. And the way I'm doing it is I'm running the webinar if enough people register for it. If there's not enough people register for it, I will just wait till the next one. But I just want to make you aware of that. So let's get into today's episode, which is the fourth and final challenge of the Empowered Dating um, Challenge, which is vetting him out. So, um, last episode, we talked about casually dating. That means you're dating multiple people, right? What you also need to be doing in that dating of multiple people is not just collecting people to date. You need to be vetting the guys out who don't work for you based on your ideal partner list, based on your needs and wants and desires in a partner in a relationship, vetting them out, right? You are a human resource manager. You are interviewing different candidates and you are calling some back and not calling others back. That's vetting. They're vetting people out of that pool of applicants. That's what you need to be doing. Okay. So just as we are not only trying to just immediately date and get in a relationship with one person and give all our time and energy to that one person, we are also not just building a bunch of people who take our time and energy from us. We are vetting them out as they don't fit for us, right? So when I say rotationally dating, casually dating, dating like a man, dating more than one person at a time, I'm not saying that you're dating 10 people, 5 people at a time even. I'm saying that like maybe there's two or three, and then one of them you're like, oh yeah, yeah, no, I'm not interested for X, Y, and Z reasons. But you meet somebody else and you bring them in, and so you're dating those 3 people, and then you're vetting. So that's what you're doing. And that's why it's rotational. Rotating means movement in and out. It's not stagnant dating, which that's an idea because I feel like I'm like, is that even a thing? And then I'm like, I kind of feel like it is a thing. And y'all be out here doing that real bad, real heavy. That would be just continuing to give your time and energy to the dudes who you know you should not because they are draining you and frustrating you, which is what I was going to get into here. Just examples of guys who you should be vetting out. These are these type of guys, so I'll get into it. But that would be, I guess, stagnant dating, where you just keep on seeing this man and giving him your time and energy. But here you are with all your complaints around. Here's my examples. He doesn't call or communicate when he says he will. He's not reliable. He's dishonest or he evades questions. Very much a liable mission type of guy. He doesn't have time for dates, but he has time to chill. All of that sort of BS that women complain about all the time, and yet still give that man the time of day. Stop it. let him go. That is this challenge. I want you to cut him off. How you do that can vary. It depends on what has happened between you guys. If someone has done something that is done things that are truly problematic, unsafe, very offensive, things like that, it might be appropriate to like ghost them, block them, and be like, psh, right? I'm not generally a proponent of ghosting because I am generally a proponent of healthy communication, right? But there are cases in which if it's going to create a bigger problem and it's either unsafe mentally, emotionally, physically, if they've completely crossed the lines, that might be necessary. But there's also just the having the conversations with people to say like, hey, so maybe if it's a guy who you have been stagnant dating and just kind of ha been like still giving him your time and energy even though you shouldn't, there's likely more of a relationship there where you might have a conversation like, hey, here's the reasons why it doesn't work for me and I need to stop, as opposed to maybe a guy who like you literally have just started dating, you've gone on a date or two, like this is new, and you it can be more of a thank you for the date, but I don't think our lifestyles align or our goals aligned or our ways of life align or this specific thing doesn't work for me. You know, you can pinpoint whatever he said or did or however he feels about something that doesn't work for you and say, thank you, but I'm, not interested in any more dates, right? These are all those right there were like three different ways to kind of handle a situation of vetting someone out. But the point is you need to vet them out. If they are not checking off the appropriate boxes on your ideal partner list, sorry, you need to vet them out. That is the challenge. Let them go. So that guy right now, or those guys right now who are in your text messages, um, who they pop up, pop off, pop away, like go back, come back, or he's not treating you how you would like to be treated or know you should be treated, you need to cut it off. Not keeping him around because loneliness, boredom, all those sort of things. No, instead, be seeking out other dating partners who are actually worth your time and energy. I want you to vet them out. Okay. So there's not a whole lot more to say on this topic other than if you are out here trying to find an ideal committed relationship partner for yourself, then you're doing yourself a huge disservice to continue giving your limited time and energy as a mom, as a person with a whole life, right? Um, you're doing yourself a disservice to give your time and energy to people who are not reciprocating appropriately, who are not filling that cup up as well. Stop doing that. And it also, you are taking time from the guys who you could be giving that time and energy to. You don't have all day. I know that's one of the biggest problems of dating as a mom. You don't have the time, you don't have the space, you don't have the mental energy, you don't have the capacity. You have to make that time, capacity, energy. And when you do, value it. That's the thing. Let me get into the whole time is currency situation, energy is currency situation. You need to think of your time and energy as currency, just like you would think of $100 bill, right? And how hard you had to work for that $100 bill and where it's going and how it's being spent, you need to think the same way with your time and energy. Because that's time and energy away from your kids, time and energy away from your job, time and energy away from you, time and energy away from your friends, your family, your household, from activities you enjoy, from your health, from your fitness, from all the things you could be doing, from meal prepping, okay, from painting and watching that paint dry, whatever you so choose, from binging on your shows. I can go down the list, I can go on and on forever. I really can. So if you're going to give that time and energy to a guy, it needs to be worth it. And so I need you to vet out the ones who are not. Stop doing that to yourself. Stop doing that to everybody else. Stop sitting in the frustration, the annoyance, the anger, the sadness of it, of continuing to interact with somebody who keeps disappointing you or mistreating you, okay, or not giving you the energy you're giving them. And ultimately, not giving you ideal partner energy, right? So, because this is what I tell people, like, if this is how you're dating someone, please imagine being in a committed relationship with this person. Is that the dynamic, the energy that you want? Is that the because if so, then keep doing it. I'm talking to those who are recognizing that's not what they want. This is why it's an empowered dating challenge, which is to say, you taking the power that you do have. You cannot control what he does or how he behaves. You can't do that for anybody. Okay. Even your kids at a certain point. Okay. Understand this, right? So, what can you control? You can control who you give your time and energy to. You can control responding to that text message or sending that text message, making that call or picking up that call, blocking that person or not blocking that person, following that person on social media, watching their stories, liking something, or blocking them or unfriending them or unfollowing them or not letting them follow you, et cetera, et cetera. Do I saying yes to that date or not, or saying yes to that chill session or not? Mm-hmm. Yes, you can control that and should. So I need you to cut him off, vet him out today. You know who I'm talking about, okay? He or they are coming up to your mind. Him or multiples of them are coming to your mind. And I need you to be like, whatever approach you need to take with each of them, whether it's a complete ghosting, cut off, and blocking because they're just way out of line, whether it's a conversation in person via text, whether it's just a quick, hey, thanks, no thanks. Uh-uh. Okay. And if you feel like there's a void they're filling in terms of like having a guy to talk to or things like that, you need to be seeking others out and just engaging, just going out for the fun of it, do it for the plot, as the girls say, so that you can get to your happy ending. I should say happy continuation. I want to be clear. It's not the end all and be all of getting into a relationship, but it's just your happy continuation. That's what I got for you today. Any questions?